What's up, everybody? This is your boy Dante, and we are live, and we are on social media platforms. We are not on YouTube. We're not doing a live stream today, but I got Kiki on here, and I got my man Red Pill on here. So we couldn't get a lot of people onto this episode. I was hoping to do something with the women on here, but it's kind of hard to do all that with all the whole social distancing. So we are on here doing it from live in. You guys are in San Jose, Campbell. I'm over here at my house in my room. And yeah, man, guys, the last episode we did was usually I recap from the last episode. So last episode included us talking about mixed signals and mixed time. You guys have wanted to add something to that last episode, or anything you guys remember it came to you guys? It's usually what I do. It's usually cool to talk about.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing I want to remind people from the last one was just be responsible with your feelings, right? Like, It's okay to be excited and it's okay to be eager, but don't overinvest early.
Yeah, that's true. What about you, Kiki?
Well, I didn't get to say this last time, but I don't really believe too much in wasted time. Because I feel like if something happened and you learned something from it, then I don't feel like it was a waste of time. Because I think everyone that you meet in your life, it's kind of like set there, like in the universe, like the universe, like set it there. So, like that was like meant to happen. I mean, I feel like if you learn something from it, then I don't think it was a waste of time. I don't know. That's just what I think. I think that's like a mindset, like a negative mindset to think of something.
Okay. Well, I mean, that's something new. You didn't say at the last episode.
So I know.
We could have had a whole topic about that. It's cool. It's fine. I'm glad you had your input. You thought of it through. That's why I have these little recaps, because something you wanted to say but you didn't get to say, you say it on that one. So that's good. I mean, like, it's good to hear someone's perspective on that. Yeah, that is kind of a negative. We never thought about the negative version of it because, yeah, it is kind of negative. It is kind of a way where you're thinking like, oh, he's wasting my time. Bye. And then people just are like that. So my input on it too, man. And I've been through it so many times with a couple people. I think time could be multiple things. It could be equivalent to me, it's equivalent to money. If you're wasting a lot of money, that's a lot of time. Going out on dates, paying for somebody, doing things, using up your phone bill, stuff like that, data plans, stuff like that. I see that as equivalent to it too. But texting and all that stuff really isn't too much of time. I mean, we all text and we all are big on that. So I don't want to do that like that. So, but yeah, and that's how I feel about it. So this topic we're going to talk about, we're actually going to revisit some new stuff, some old stuff from our last season, because now we have more people on here who have some more things to say. And I do want to talk about this whole social distancing, this whole quarantine that we're in. And I want to explore a little bit more about it because it's hard right now. It's been tough, man. Last week, it's been hard. Like Bumble and Tinder has been off the hook, but it's hard to meet people. So now Bumble created a way, like they sent you did you guys get the reminder if you guys have the app? They'll say, oh, you can send video chats to people. You can have video conversations with people. You're just like, oh yeah, I guess I can do that too. Yeah. So you can have video.
I did not know we could do that.
Yeah, you can have video chats. So, but it's still kind of weird.
So uncomfortable.
It's just like, oh, somebody just kind of matched with me, I did it once.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I did it once. It was just kind of weird.
Yeah, could you imagine getting like, oh, you have a new bee in the hive, and the very first thing she does is try and video chat you?
Oh,
that would be weird, right?
At least they warn you. They kind of tell you, hey.
I would like immediately unmatch that person if they try to video chat right away.
Yeah, it's like, hey. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, if you look at it that way, yeah, that can be true on a lot of reasons too. But yeah, so this whole thing's been hard. So I don't know how you guys are going with this whole quarantine situation, how that's working out for you guys. But
I'm not enjoying this quarantine at all. This has been
he said it.
Admittedly, right, I'm a single guy. My main modality, right, main mode of like meeting women is like going out. And now I have to figure out this whole like Tinder, Bumble, slime the Instagram DMs thing. And I kind of don't like that because I feel like you leave too much up to them.
Yeah.
It's easier when you just talk to them. It's like, you kind of have to tell me you're not interested in my face, you know? It's like, do it.
Waste of time. We talked about that.
You can like work on your pros, like work on your texting skills or whatever.
Oh, sounds like an error. Sounds something you got to work on, man.
I mean, it's good. I mean, it's good, but you know.
Maybe what I'll do is I'll give you my login information. You can just do it for me.
Oh, well, I don't know if
Oh, well, I'm just here. I'm just a little moderator here. So I'm just a moderator here. We got an introvert and extrovert on here. So you guys have different ways of going about with your quarantine dating, or if you guys are doing that. If you guys have some insights coming from an extrovert, I'll start with Kiki. Coming from an introvert side, how is that going for you? What's the challenges of, especially, I know you're loving these times because now you can kind of be to yourself. You really don't need to have conversation with people, but I'm not sure if you're on dating apps or you're going out and doing stuff, but what is the challenges of this whole quarantine and chill phase that we're in?
I mean, I don't really feel like it's that challenging for me because I don't really go out and try to meet people anyway. I kind of just stay within like the community that I am in right now, with like the gym community. But yeah, it's nice to just like talk to people like impersonally through text messaging. I'm fine with that, you know, and trying to get to know them in that level.
Yeah.
But yeah, so far it's been fine for me. I'm completely happy with it, to be honest.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah, I know it's a lot of introverts like, oh, this is what I've been doing. Like I see like memes. Yeah. Someone said, "Oh, you just know about being to yourself. You just learned that." All right, you know, you guys seen the movie Dark Knight Rises?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Bane said a quote about, "Oh, I was born in darkness. You just adopted it." Like some of people are just you are coming up with some crazy memes. Oh, so now you're just, I was born inside being at home. This is nothing to me. So I thought that was kind of funny.
When someone calls your regular life quarantine.
This is like, all these introverts are coming out of nowhere, man. You guys are like the loudest ones here, man. Yeah, like for introvert, you guys are the most like outspoken ones during these times. So I mean, now going on to Red Pill, man. So for you, extrovert, this is the challenge for you.
Yeah,
you can't leave your house. You cannot talk to anyone. You can still do it, but
it's tough because like you pretty much text the way you talk, and I make a lot of jokes. My humor can be pretty abrasive, and so it's like if you don't understand the context, you can't read like my body language. It's like I just come off as incredibly offensive and inconsiderate, and so yeah, it's just like it's been really difficult to like think of jokes that are going to land without them thinking that I'm serious.
Yeah.
Right. Like if you watch Anthony Jeselnik's, my favorite stand-up comedian, he has a lot of really horrible one-liners and a lot of basically he'll lead a conversation in a way and then just quickly 180 to a different subject and you're not ready for it. And that's kind of how I do a lot of my jokes, and then it doesn't fly over text. Like it's really weird. Yeah. So my games right now is just like I have none. I have like zero game. Like I don't know how to flirt over text. Right? Because I just don't. I'll just call you, and the only reason I'm calling you is because we're going to schedule the next time we're going to hang out, and that is the next time you'll talk.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. I'm kind of in between both of you guys, but I'm liking it and I'm also hating it. So for me, it's kind of a challenge too, man. And it's getting used to it. I mean, I'm used to doing the whole texting. I'm getting better at it. But I still like to go out, go to events, social events, because now they're all closed down. Okay. You know, that was a big part of me, was going out to the bars, clubs, talking to people just organically. Where now you have to, do this through, now you're really relying on it. You're like, oh, shoot. So, like I said, all these dating apps, man, and all this shit is like, they're killing the game right now because there's nothing much you can do.
Yeah.
You can't interact with anyone else. So people are hopping back on. But it's also a big issue with Tinder being like a fuckboy site or something like that, because that's all people really do on there, right? So you got the Bumble where the girls can message you, right? And you got Hinge, which is okay. but Bumble is a big one. I think it's a pretty good one because
What
they
about
message.
the other ones that I haven't tried that one called The League yet.
The League? There's another one? I didn't know about that one.
It's called The League. I don't know. I've seen it on Instagram. It's supposed to be like a tier higher than a Hinge or something.
A tier higher. The Hinge is actually pretty good.
I've never tried
Hinge. Who's gonna cool that?
Hinge will follow up you. Like, did you meet up with this person yet? I'm like, no. Okay. Social distancing, man.
I think the biggest thing that I'm definitely like not happy about is like I'm never nervous, right? Like on like, because right now I'm currently on Bumble. It's like my main squeeze right now is Bumble or Instagram. Honestly, I'll just start sliding your DMs. But it's like I'm never nervous. And I don't like that. So like in person, like from like a party, right? Or like we've partied together and like we've gone out to like clubs and stuff like that. It's like there's like this. Oh man, am I gonna talk to her? Am I not gonna talk to her? Is she busy? Is she not busy? Is she gonna just like tell me she's a boyfriend? Like there's this whole song and dance that goes like just cold approaching somebody, and like there's none of that. Like it takes nothing to be like, hey, you're cute. I'll go online, look up best Tinder pickup lines, drop one. Like it's just not. I think for me, it's one of the things where it's like, it's boring. It's just boring, and it's like there's no excitement. Like when you go up to somebody and like you kind of have like 0.3 seconds to like approach them before like you start getting anxious about it, like start like playing this imaginary scenario in your head, and like that doesn't happen online. That's not real. It's not a thing. It doesn't feel real to me. There's something I can. It's not palpable. And if they do reply, you're kind of just like, oh, they replied. Like it's just not at all galvanizing in any sense of the word.
That's true. So I mean that is a challenge too, man. And seeing it from both ends, I think it's key because coming from both you guys, I know one's loving it, one's kind of like, arr. So I also want to visit another topic too that I talked about the last season was because we're kind of tying it in with this whole social distancing. Just the whole physical part. How's that panning away for you guys? You can't physically go to their, touch. You can't do nothing. You can't go to movies. You can't hook up. You can't do shit. If you guys have someone, sex wise, it's kind of like shit. It's hard. How's that? How you guys faring well with that for this whole week that we've been in quarantine? It's going to be a lot longer. We all know this. It's not going to be a week. It's going to be at least a month or two.
I'll let Kylie go first.
Well, it's not really a big thing for me, to be honest. So I'm fine with it. That's another thing I'm fine with.
Because you're an introvert.
I'm also fine with pleasuring myself, to be honest.
Oh,
I go out and look for it, like, and
well, shoot. I mean,
that's what I have to say about it.
Okay. No film friends with benefits, nothing like that. I know we talked about that too.
I'm not going to say that I don't have a friends with benefit, but I will say it's like probably not going to play this whole Corona thing. I'm being serious, Like I have parents who are somewhat healthy. I have grandparents who I see regularly. I have friends. My sister goes and sees her friends occasionally. And it's like I feel like I'm in a position right now where I'm not 100% abiding by the whole like stay in place thing, and so I'm not trying to risk like getting like coronavirus. I'm even serious about that one.
Yeah.
Because I'm not worried about it, but I am worried that I could give it to somebody who would be susceptible to it.
That's true. Mm-hmm.
You got to think about that too, because that's a lot of fluids and a lot of touching. And you bound to catch something, man. I was talking to my friend earlier today, one of my friends on my Instagram, and he talked about someone got beat up for sneezing and coughing in front of him because he did this and he did that. They beat his ass. Like, well, he touched the person, so he's bound to get you too now. Now it's so I mean it's pretty rough out there, man, and especially in the dating scene too. I know what's the word I'm looking for? People are making some crazy little quarantine parties. People are doing stuff like that. Now, are you guys doing
parties and stuff like that?
They have they do that kind of stuff. I mean, this is perfect. I think this is perfect for a lot of introverts to interact with people now, since they don't have to physically see them. So I see this as like an easier factor for a lot of introverts to kind of explore that too. especially now. Yes, so, Instagram. You can look at stuff on Instagram now. Everyone's on there for sure. There's so many live streams popping off. I didn't even go on live stream this time. I just kind of, I mean, I can't. I tried and this wouldn't look good, so I just decided not to even do a live stream. I might do one later with you guys, but other than that, I mean, I don't have much to say about that one. But the whole factor of the physical, if you're kind of like your love language is physical touch, I can see this being the challenge for you. If your love language is kind of like, oh well, I'm okay with it. I don't really need to have someone here physically here. But
like words of affirmation or something.
Yeah, words of affirmation. I'm personally I like physical touch sometimes. But it's been hard, man.
No, it's been tough. Like I'm definitely a pretty hands-on person, right? I think my love languages were like physical touch and like gifts. Like I'm very big on giving gifts.
Yeah.
And then
I've actually never met a lot of people that I've met mostly like time spent. Or
like if you actually ask Dante, we went to actually it was when I met you for the first time. We were going to the Hui's house thing, and like I was getting on Dante about what we had to bring. I was like, no, dude, like it has to be like the perfect gift. And I was like, you have to get this, and you have to get that, we have to bring this, we have to bring that. And then same thing when we went and saw our buddy Josh. It was like, no, like I was like, I went and got him crystals, and I got him like incense, and I got him like this thing. I was like, we can't show up like with nothing. We have to. Like I'm very big into like gift giving.
Yeah, that was a good call when you guys came with the plant, because I know she mentioned in the event invite that you have to bring a plant, or not that you bring one as a gift.
But I didn't read.
Yeah,
he asked me, I was like, oh, gifts? We got to give them gifts.
Everyone brought a plant with them when they came in.
Yeah, but I'm very much into. Or like one of the first things I said to you was like, oh, do you like this author? I have this book by this author. I think you'll like it. Was the first thing I thought of. I was like, oh, I have this thing that you might like. So like I'm very the Whiskey Words and a Shovel too, that one. But I'm very much into like giving.
Okay, honestly, like when you sent me that message, I was like, oh, did he like go on my Facebook and see on my Facebook profile picture that I was wearing a shirt with RH Sin on it, and he like just sent that to me?
No, I had that book, and then I had a poetry book of Robert Frost. Another one by Khalil Gibran, and I was not going to give those two away. I was like, this is the only one that I have to give. So, the ones are my favorites. I'm not giving those away. These two ones.
Like, oh, is he just trying to impress me with like knowing RH Sin because it's on my Facebook profile picture?
No, I was just like, I had no idea. I was like, oh, this one. This would be. And then you were like, oh, here's this other book you could have. And I was like, oh, that was super nice. But I was just like, no, this is this book. That was the one. So the number one gift I give is book.
If you're gonna let me borrow a book, then I'll let you borrow one of mine. Because isn't that how it should be?
Sure, yeah. That's the way it should be. But going back to the whole physical touch thing, it's like it's tough, dude, because I'm very much into like physical touch. And I'm not saying that we have to be like super sexual or something, but it's like not even having like the holding hands or like just having someone scratch the back of your head. Or just like shoulder massages, or just not being able to like just tap someone's shoulder when I'm laughing. Like, it's weird. I feel incredibly isolated right now.
Yeah. I mean, that's true too, man. I don't think my thing is gift. So gift giving, I'm not.
No, it's not.
Definitely not that. Definitely not that.
Here, I'm not a gift giver.
No, I'm not. I'm not.
So what are your love languages?
I don't even know. I have to take the test again. I can't remember.
Mine was
I don't believe in it.
And the other one was, I think,
quality time,
service, and words of affirmation, and a little bit physical touch. But gift giving was like on the very bottom.
Yeah, makes sense. Very bottom, like. Okay, I mean, I don't know, man. For what I'm seeing now, I mean, we can revisit the old topics. I know I talked about a few other things too. I know. Red Pill, you mentioned a few things that you want to discuss too, moving forward. I know that there's certain kind of, and we can talk about love languages too, but the social distancing part is definitely key. Now, for me, what I've seen, what creative ways are you guys going about doing this? And I don't know if I talked about that. Are you guys actually going to internet events? Are you guys doing stuff like that? Or are you guys just staying at home?
So
I'm just home.
Stay home.
Yeah.
I've been. Well, right now I'm not at home. Actually, I went to my buddy's house, and but he stays by himself, so it's like I think I'll be fine, right?
You guys aren't like touching each other or anything, or
No,
wrestling?
Wrestling.
no. Oh, that's what guys do when they hang out. They just wrestle. That's right.
This is
Cover
true.
ourselves in baby oil and just wrestle on the carpet. Definitely.
I was like, all right, crease up.
No, it's been hard, but I've also taken this as like this is like I'm practicing Zen. This has been like the whole vibe of quarantine is like focusing mostly on silence and singular focus, practicing only doing one thing at a time and not having other things racing through my mind. And then meditation practice. I have a meditation practice. I meditate daily, but I don't meditate for as long as I would like. I would really like to break that 20-minute threshold. Right now, after 20 minutes, I'm like,
Is it recording now?
Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
Okay. All right.
Back live.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard to. I mean, I know. I talked about one of my episodes was dating codes, dating laws, rules that you guys have. Right. I know I explained my rules. I have damn near almost 50 rules, so I have a whole list of them. But I guess I could ask you guys just some random questions too. I know, but one would be for. I guess we'll start with Kiki first.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of rules or laws or expectations or what are your top 10 or top 5? You can even do top 5. You can do top 10 if you want to, but what's like the things that you live by on dating, your dating rule?
Well, we were talking about this earlier, about how I really appreciate traditional male chivalry. Are they getting the door for me? A big one is the car door. I really expect them to get the car door for me. That's something that I really look at. Also, if they offer to pay on the first date, um, I'm really expecting them to pay, but if they offer, like, I always offer just to be polite, but if they say like, no, it's okay, then, and they pay for the whole check, then that's what I really want. But if I end up paying for the whole check, then like, that's a big, like, no for me on the first date. Okay. Yeah, that. And also just basic personal hygiene. Like, are they showering daily? Like, is their hair clean? Are their nails clean? Like stuff like that. Like, do they make eye contact with me when they talk to me? Just like little things like that. I don't really have like a list of it, but I think those are the important ones for me.
Okay.
All right. Red Bull.
So I'm very big into rules, especially when currently I'm casually dating, right? I'm not looking for anything serious. So when I'm casually dating, I definitely follow my rules more stringently. And the whole reason is because last podcast talked about like wasted time, intentions, mixed signals. I try to like send as little as that as possible, unless I'm kind of playing the hot and cold game a little bit. But even then, it's pretty apparent that I'm interested. One rule that almost all my friends can quote me on is my third date rule, where it's like if I'm dating a girl casually and we don't sleep together by the end of the third date, like there's a really good chance there's not going to be a fourth one. Like there's a really, and it's not because like that person's a horrible person. It's just one of those things where it's like, if you would have a one night stand at a club with some guy you don't know and you're not sleeping with me by the third date, we're probably not interested in the same thing. Like we're not on the same wavelength at that point, right? So it's like if you go on the first date, typically if it's a really, really good first date, you can open someone up. They're almost always going to kiss you on the first date. Like there's very few exceptions. The only time there's a major exception is if a girl is like really looking for a very serious relationship, she thinks you're a beta, or she has herpes. Like there's only 3 reasons why a girl wouldn't kiss you on the first date. And then if she hasn't slept with you by the third date, you're probably just not a viable sexual candidate, or she wants something you don't want in the moment, right? So just out of respect, out of like not sending mixed signals and stuff like that. Number 2 is definitely my rules of 3. So I have a list of 3 things that every girl who is a potential dating candidate should have. And that's a car, going to school, and having a job. You have to be doing 2 of those 3 really, really well for me to consider you, right? So like if you're not in school, but you have a good job and you own your own car, that's a good sign, right? Or if you don't have your own car, but you're working really, really hard and you're a full-time student, good sign. Like if you don't have two of those three really well, it's just not going to happen. Smoking is a big no-no. Weed and cigarettes. I don't partake in either, and I don't really plan on entertaining either. So if a girl does either of those things, it's probably a no for me.
You wrote these things down, didn't you?
I wrote them down while she was talking about it, but these are my things. I did write them down, so I didn't want to like draw a blank and have these a bunch of like filler sentences, like so I want to have those down. But the last thing, I have more written down, is definitely social awareness, right? Like I can't hang out with a person, and this goes for anybody really, who could only fit into one social group, right? Like I know Kylie mentioned earlier that she's in the dance community, has a lot of friends in the dance community. Like I couldn't be good friends with someone who only ever lived in the dance community, didn't have any friends outside.
Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
I didn't mean like that was the only place that I live, but it's just the place.
No, I believe I'm just an example.
Damn.
Like if someone was only a dancer, I couldn't hang out with them.
Damn, kind of put her on blast right there. Shit. Kind of put her on blast. So I'm like on live stream on my Instagram. So, yeah, man. I mean, if anyone has any questions, we're gonna treat this like a Q&A, I guess, and kind of poor Kiki, just put her on blast like that. Oh,
I didn't put her on blast. I was just saying, as an example, I absolutely because Kiki talks to me. I'm not a dancer, so I'm just talking about things that aren't dance, right? So
yeah. I have other friends that aren't dancers. Actually, all my close friends are not dancers, so there.
Yeah. Sorry, someone just commented. Anyways, all right. So another question. You guys have any other questions you guys want to give out? Because I know that Markel wanted to talk a few things on here, and we'll keep it kind of brief here because my thing's kind of acting up. So, and I'm in my room, which is kind of weird. So I'm not sure if you guys want to.
Right? Like, are we all in like?
Yeah, we are all in our room.
Not that.
Yeah.
Weird.
So. Okay. Well, usually I'm used to it.
Timelines real quick. So I already talked about my 3-date rule. But I know before we started recording, I don't know if this got recorded. We were talking about how long would you wait to meet someone's parents?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't talk about that.
Right. Yeah. So let's talk about some timelines real quick. Any personal timelines you guys hold to yourself where you're like, even if I'm really feeling this person, this is my timeline, I don't break
that. I mean, to me, everyone's kind of met my mom. It's not really a big deal for me if people in my family meets the person. I don't treat it as a big deal. I mean, they rarely see them, but they do see them. I usually do it that way. But to me, it's not really that crazy, man. I'm not gonna do like a year to meet someone to meet my family. Mostly they're gonna meet my family at events. I'll bring them to an event or something like that. I'm like, oh, that's my brother over there. So, I mean, I don't have like a time or deadline when I need to bring them to my family, because my family's pretty open. They're not very they don't have any kind of animosity. They're pretty chill with a lot of people that I do bring to the household, or if they meet some of my family, they're pretty chill. But that's what I see. I mean, I'm not sure what you guys think about it, but for me, it's a little different.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that too. I don't really put a timeline on it. I mostly go by feeling. Like if the thought of this person meeting my parents, and I feel anxious about it, then I know that I'm not ready. I don't know what time frame that would fall under, but I don't know. It also depends on the person's intentions with me. If it's something casual, then I'm not going to introduce them to my parents, but if they're serious with me, then then I would. So I don't know. I don't really put a timeline on it.
Yeah.
So I definitely have a 9-month minimum before I meet anyone's family, intentionally. So, and it's just one of those things where it's things happen all the time. Especially I feel like the first 9 months you're seeing somebody is the most volatile. That's where it's you can get completely ghosted out of anywhere, or that's where all basically around like that between that 7 to 9 month mark is like where all the big secrets come out, right? You're like, oh, this person's secretly a meth addict, or oh, this person has like over 200,000 in student loans, or oh, this person has a warrant out for their, like, like you find out all these crazy things like right beyond the 5 month mark, and so it's like I always wait until 9 months, because like if I'm talking to you for the more than the better half of a year, it's like, all right, I'm incredibly interested and I'm invested, and at that point I'm ready to meet your family. And then also for me, it's like I come from a very tough, not open family, right? And they're not like super judgmental where they're gonna sit there and judge you, right? They're not incredibly conservative. In fact, both my parents are kind of liberal. They're just like, we don't open up to outsiders. That's just kind of how they operate. They both grew up in certain areas where you weren't super friendly with everyone you knew, and they've kind of just maintained that, even though now they both live in California. And so it's like when I bring people over, they're really taken aback about how little my parents would talk to you. Right. So if I'm dating a girl or whatever, it's like I'm definitely waiting 9 months minimum. Right. Like, and if I'm really serious about you, then it's like, yeah, you're definitely waiting like a year and like a couple months before you'll meet my parents.
I mean, that's good to have like a timeline. Now, did you do that in your last relationship? Did you wait like 90 days?
Yeah. Oh, it was 9 months.
9 months?
Actually, you know what? I think she met my dad for like 30 minutes, like 5 months in. But it was like we had no choice but to like stop at my house or something. And I just felt super rude leaving her in the car.
Yeah.
In my driveway. Yeah. Like that'd be pretty jacked up. So,
yeah, because my mom's like that too, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, my mom's pretty open to like that. So it's kind of like people come to the house, she's not gonna say, "Oh, is that your girlfriend?" or anything like that. She'll see it as like just someone until I introduce them as my spouse or partner or whatever. But they won't. My family doesn't never think that way. So I mean, they don't go, "Is that your new? Is that your wife? Is it your girlfriend?" I'm like, no, just a friend. So I know a lot of my homegirls have met my mom, and she'll invite them in the house and everything. So, but I know how most families are big on that, because like if I go date someone, I meet their family, they're thinking that we're dating or something like that. So I got to take that into consideration, right? So especially if I'm dating moms too. Takes a minute. There's a timeline for kids too. They don't want no random person meeting their kid. I mean,
that timeline is like,
man,
I'll probably put it around just under the 2 year mark.
It might be a year or 2 year.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's what I see it like too. So, but yeah, it's just, but yeah. So if you guys are just tuning in, I know I just put on the live stream on my Instagram. And we're doing a little social distancing, a little different for our Why Date podcast. So I know you guys aren't in physical form here, which would be awesome, but we're not since we're so far away from each other. But we're not that far. You guys are just down in South Bay. So, but we're doing a Q&A question. So, and I'm not sure if you guys, what else did we talk about, Red Pill? I know we talked about a few things.
Well,
but
I wrote it down. I knew I would forget. All right. So we did talk about dating as an extrovert versus an introvert, right? And then we want to talk about dating in the quarantine, which most places have quoted their people, you're going to be on quarantine for about 3 weeks, right? 3-ish weeks. So I don't think dating has taken like such like a huge hit, because like, if you can't go 3 weeks without talking to another person of the opposite sex, you get some dependency issues going on there. You got some big dependency issues going on. And but I think we should talk about what's going to happen post-quarantine. All these matches you got on like Tinder and Bumble and Hinge and Coffee Meets Bagel and the League. It's like,
I heard about that. I didn't know what that was until today.
Yeah, I found out about that.
I'm looking into that now.
Yeah. I think the only dating apps that are safe right now are like eHarmony. You meet someone on eHarmony, they're probably still going to talk to you. Probably still going to talk to you after the quarantine. And,
Christian Mingle's not?
No.
I thought that was safe.
BlackSinglesMeet.com. There we go. Right.
I thought that was safe, man. Oh shit. I know there's a different kind of site for different races of people. I know for Black people it's called Black. I think for like Hispanics it's something else. I don't know if it's the same for Filipinos, but I know for sure they got
I feel like if you're Filipino, you like if you're Filipino, let's say you only date Filipinos, like you should not be on a dating site. Just go ask one of your friends. Like they're very communal. So it's like there's no point for Filipinos to have their own dating site unless you're in an area where there's no other Filipinos, right? Like, if you're in like San Jose or you're like in the Bay Area and you're Filipino and you only date Filipinos, you do not belong on a dating site. Just go ask one of your friends. That's why go ask your friends.
I don't know. I think there's a lot of Filipinos in the Bay Area, so it's kind of hard to meet like someone in your city, you know, that you don't.
That's my point. It's like there's so many.
Area.
You know,
yeah.
You definitely have to check your 23andMe to make sure you're not related, but you know, you'll be you'll be fine.
Yeah, no, it's tough, man, especially out here. I know that I got some friends who are like Polynesian. They can't date within their own because they might be related to them. I've heard that one before. I'm like, damn. I mean, it might be the same for like black people. If we're like in the South somewhere in Atlanta, you're bound to see someone that's like a relation. Like
no, I don't think so because we don't intermix like that. We never have.
I have a cousin on both sides of the family, bro. She's on both sides, my mom and dad's side. So I'm like, and I don't know how they were never in the same state. They were in the same city. And like they happen to freaking be. I'm like, how do you know my aunt? Oh, that's my aunt. I'm like, I was like, Mom. She's like, why is my cousin on the other side? So I mean, it's out there. I mean, I think it's like that out there in the South. From what I heard, like everyone's kind of close knit. So it's probably the same up here too for Filipinos and Samoans, Tongans. But I don't know, man. That community thing is big though. But yeah, I'm not sure if any other people have questions on here, but I don't have any questions on my end.
I got one more.
Do you?
Right. Would you guys host a house date? Like you met somebody on Bumble or Tinder, you guys talked for a couple days, and they're like, oh, you know, for sure. And they're like, oh,
they don't have that corona.
Would you guys host a house date?
It's that quarantine life, man. Like what boy Rigel said, it's that quarantine life, man. It's you gotta make sure they get tested. I want to see the tests of them being passed with the coronavirus because, like, bro, it's like we never really thought about like catching like STDs or STI or whatever case they be or herpes, but now we're like still tripping about this corona thing. Like it's like close on everything, quarantine, COVID-19. It's that's what we're doing. We're doing now. We're out here, keeping our social distancing. But I don't know, man. I don't know to answer your question about house party. I might host house event, like have them come through, but I'm limited to what I can do at the house. And I might just throw like a party or something like that. I got my DJ equipment, so I might do something a little crazy. But it'll probably be like more people. But make sure they're tested first.
But what they're gonna do is call the doctor. Hey, I'm about to go turn up this weekend. Can we get a test going on? Like,
make sure they're good. COVID-19.
Have everybody hold their breath for 10 seconds before they walk in.
Make sure you don't touch nothing. Make sure you clean your hands. Wash your hands.
Everyone just wear hazmat suits at the party.
Yeah,
bro. It's getting global, bro. We can't even.
What about you, Kyle? You have any questions? Ask me anything. Ask us anything.
Oh, you're like, ask me anything.
Yeah. We're not doing a roast today, so we're not doing the.
Okay. What is like one lesson or like one cue you wish extroverts would pick up on and they just don't?
What was it?
A cue?
That's like one thing you're like, I wish extroverts understood this thing in terms of dating. I wish they understood this, but they just don't understand.
Oh, I guess I'm not sure in terms of dating, but I think just generally, if you're an extrovert, if you try to like push me to like hang out with like a group or something that I'm not really like feeling like you're a group of friends or something, or if I don't really feel like I'm feel included or whatever, just like forcing me to like hang out with people that I don't really want to hang out with. And then like not really like understanding like, oh, like she's just like being like stuck up or something. Well, I just don't feel comfortable, So don't force relationships like on me that I don't feel comfortable with. I think that's just in general,
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, you're really answer. I wasn't expecting that. That was like That was solid. It's like I never really thought about before.
Or, I've had a friend who would like volunteer me, like, oh, can you give like my friends a ride home? And they're not really my friends, they're like her friends,
Yeah.
I'm like, well, I don't really feel comfortable with that because I don't really know them. And, I'm going to be like stuck in my car with them for like 25 minutes, And like, they're not even my friends, but she was like volunteering me to like give them rides just because, I'm her friend, Or she would just ask me like, oh, how come at the party you weren't really talking to anybody? Like you weren't really, getting into the conversation. I'm like, well, I didn't really feel like talking. But she just read it as like, oh, you're just being like stuck up or something, or you're not being very friendly,
Right.
Yeah. What about you, Red Pill?
As an extrovert, like what are something that I can like that I would want introverts to understand?
Yeah.
I think one of the things I would want introverts to understand is like we operate at a higher energy level, and it's like if you take someone who operates at a really high energy level and you start bringing them down, it's kind of just like a bad mix. It's gonna be like a bad time, right? You'll kind of realize they'll become kind of ornery, or they'll become kind of resentful, or maybe even a bit passive aggressive. Or in my case, I'll just become a little bit distant, kind of start blocking you off. Is one thing where it's like for most extroverts, the only way to go is up. And a lot of times introverts, especially those who are like who have some extrovert tendencies or are like really really self confident, they're really good at like bringing the room down to their level, right? Like of calmness and like lowering the energy of the room. And me as an extrovert, like I don't jive with that, right? And so I'm always going to do things to kind of raise the group. Like I definitely play the room, right? Play the crowd. So it's like I'm in a room with like 10 people. I'm going to talk to like all these individuals and like start kind of galvanizing them and getting them all to higher energy level. And if you're someone who's like this stoical, calm person, like I'm not gonna like that. Especially if I try and talk to you and you're just saying super calm, a little bit distant, like I'm not gonna like that. Like no, I'm hyped, so you gotta be hyped. That's just the way it works. So yeah.
So you expect people to like match your energy, basically?
Yeah, and there's a couple ways that I do that, but I typically try and get people to like match my energy, match my wavelength.
Okay. I had someone ask a question here. From a girl's perspective, what are some things that a guy can do to distance themselves if the guy is not giving them space to breathe? No, don't have
Wait,
anything.
hold on a second. So
you're like
read it one more time.
Yeah, you're breaking up.
Okay, so the question was from a girl's perspective, what are some things that a guy can do to distance themselves?
I think they could just not like text as much. I mean, or not blow up their phone, or just kind of give them like space, like maybe like let her reach out to you when she wants to see you, like when she's ready. Like don't try to like push like meetings or like hangouts, on her when she doesn't feel ready, basically. Like wait till she feels ready.
Okay.
So wait,
okay.
Was the because the structure of that sentence was kind of funny. So was it like the guy needs space or the girl needs space?
He said, hold on. If the guy is not giving them space to breathe. So I think it sounds like from a guy's giving space.
Like how does the guy give a girl space?
A girl's giving space, yeah.
Yeah, just don't be controlling, like let her live her life, let her do what she wants to do. And when she's ready to have you back in her life, then just wait for that. Like that's really like her call,
Yeah. The girl needs space. Some guys can be too pushy.
Yeah, I think typically like and this is coming from like me where I'm very social and I'm not pushy in a sense where like I'm constantly hitting a girl up, but I might be a little bit forward or even premature. I'm like, oh, let's go do this thing that you typically may not do if you don't know somebody very well, right? Just because I'm comfortable with doing things, I don't think something bad is gonna happen to me per se. But I think the best thing is for guys like be busy. Like if you're busy, if you have a full time job, or if you have a part time job, you're going to school full time, you're spending adequate time studying, adequate time with your guy friends, adequate time at the gym, adequate time on whatever side projects your family. It's like you just won't have the time to bug her.
Yeah.
So if you feel like you're being too pushy on her, you're not doing enough with your personal life.
That makes sense. Yeah, I can see that being. I agree with that. That was a question that someone else has. Let me see. I saw another question here. But it's good. It's good. I'm glad we get some questions here. Someone said don't do online dating. I talked about that in one of my episodes.
It doesn't work for
the pros of cyber dating. So actually, I will actually open me up a lot more. You should listen to it. Yeah, but it talks about that because I had an online dating coach on there. He was pretty cool, but he broke it down to like, yeah, it's the best thing ever. So she said, a woman knows a line when she meets him. Be that and you're good.
Woman knows a line?
A woman knows a lion when she meets him.
Oh, a lion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So, yeah, no, this is good, guys.
It's not.
Hopefully this coronavirus will be able to do another episode where it's not. How about through texting? Texting.
So that's not a very good one for me because I don't generally enjoy texting, and I'm not a very good texter.
Me neither.
Right.
I'm like half and half. But we can't meet up in person. Social distancing.
Like if they're using complete sentences, if they're using uppercase, lowercase, periods, punctuation, what kind of like words are they using? It really shows the intelligence of the other person, or if they're like spelling correctly. That's kind of like what I look
for.
Damn, you look at that. Damn, you're just...
Well, I'm an English major, so I really look at that.
Yeah, if it's not in like MLA format, don't text highly.
Oh, he's asking, how do you give distance through texting?
Don't text. Just don't send them anything.
Don't text.
So wait till a whole week, or I wait till like 3 months, man. Like they didn't say give distance, I'll give 3 months. 3 months, and I'll follow up.
So this is actually some advice that I actually got.
Like you just send a funny meme or something. You don't have to like open up a conversation. Like send a funny picture, and that would be something. That would be like just contact. That's kind of giving space, You don't have to like talk to the person.
Yeah. Okay, well, that makes sense too. You could do it that way. Well, yeah, I don't know if I have nothing much. You could text. I don't have much to really say about this whole episode. It's kind of a weird setup what we're doing, but hopefully we get better next time for next week. I know you can check, just keep it short. Yeah, like memes. Hopefully I answer your question. But yeah, so I really have not much to say on my end. Definitely thank you guys for coming on, dealing with all the crazy setup, technical support. Shout outs to Squadcast. They actually made this happen. It made it a little bit more easier. The sound sounds so much better. Hopefully I'm able to edit all this tonight and put it on to my YouTube stream.
Cool.
Right.
YDayPodcast.com. Gotta work, man. Gotta put in the work. I got a lot of time now. I can be at home and do my work and do all my online businesses. I'm doing multiple things. I'm doing my DJing and I've got my online businesses going on. So keep myself busy for this time frame, but definitely appreciate you guys to come on. And yeah, have you guys anything else to say? Any last things to say?
No, I'm good.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Raiders. All right, guys. I'll see you guys later.
All right.
Thanks. All right, guys. Later.